Hey everyone, it's Midnight Specter, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a story about the time I worked security. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It'll put a smile on my face. So yeah, imagine me, a stuffed unicorn working security. However, the company I worked for, we were just glorified secretaries with metal detecting wands. Anyway, the site I worked at was an automobile auction lot, which, if you like cars, was a really cool experience. It was kind of neat to see like a supercar or a classic car, but mostly it was just a sea of commuter cars. Anyway, I was put at Gate 4, which was the gate where a lot of cars would be delivered. I worked the weekends, so Friday, Saturday, and Sundays were my days where I worked. Fridays were always super busy, and Saturdays were kind of busy up until maybe about 7, and then it would peter off. Sundays oftentimes would be several hours between deliveries of cars. Sundays were always super chill. I would order some McDonald's through Uber Eats, and I'd watch YouTube videos. In fact, that's how I found the furry fandom, because I found a video with Odawolf and Neon Slushy, and I found also Picari Rue's videos as well. However, this company, people kind of just left without notice, which at the time, I was still very new and fresh to the job market, so hearing something about a manager or supervisor just piecing out without notice was kind of unheard of to me. So that happened to my weekend supervisor, and the overnight supervisor either switched over or was doing overtime, and would work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, the first week, she put me on Gate 1, even though Gate 4 was basically my home, where I was best at, because a lot of the guards weren't familiar with the different banks and financial institutions or where cars that were traded went. So oftentimes when I wasn't at Gate 4, people complained that it was a mess because the other guards were either too lazy or couldn't remember where everything went. So you'd have Hondas with the Fords, repos in the supercar lane. Side note, that's actually how I ended up getting to drive a Tesla when they first came out. That was kind of a fun perk of the job, until some guard crashed a Lamborghini and then we couldn't touch any of the auction cars anymore. Anyway, I wear glasses, and my glasses have transition lenses in them. And I have to mention that I'm absolutely blind without my glasses. And while the overnight supervisor that was covering weekends decided I was making mistakes because I was wearing sunglasses, they weren't sunglasses, they were regular prescription glasses. Well, she says, oh, well, if they're prescription glasses, then bring in your prescription. First of all, sit and spin, lady. Second of all, I'm not going to bring in a note from my eye doctor to prove to you that I need to wear glasses. So me being a little shit cooked up a plan. I'll take off my glasses. Mind you, I couldn't see a damn thing. I made a huge spectacle about not being able to see, like holding the paper 6 inches away from my face and holding the scanner away up to my face. And people who were taking cars from Gate 1 were like, what's wrong with you? And I would happily say, oh, I'm not allowed to wear my glasses because my manager doesn't believe I need them. I made so many mistakes that day. I remember coming in the next day with a smile on my face, ready to repeat the charade, and she says, you, go to Gate 4. So to Gate 4 I went. However, I guess the next big play she had ended up concocting was this. She would call me from Gate 4 to do patrols, which patrolling isn't bad. The thing is that Gate 4 is not like scheduled, there's no advance warning when people are coming in to deliver cars. So there'd be oftentimes I'd be out on patrol, and she'd call over the radio saying I had cars at Gate 4, and as soon as I got done, I'd have to go on patrol again. Well, once again, me being a little shit decided I would drag out the delivery of cars as long as I could. So I'd shoot the breeze of truckers and generally have a good time. I knew that she'd be watching the cameras and would see me talking with the driver with a car at the gate, so she really couldn't say anything. I also knew at the time, when I was patrolling, that she would also watch the cameras and see if I sat in a place for too long, she'd call me over the radio and be like, what are you doing? One weekend was just absolute garbage for me, and I was actually about to walk away from the job and find some other cheap little weekend gig to get a little spending money. Well, imagine my surprise when I came in the next week and they were like, oh yeah, she got transferred to another site because she made too many mistakes. Of course I said, well, that's great news, because she was so worried about what everyone else was doing, she couldn't be bothered to look after herself. Which didn't gain me any popularity points, but it was certainly true. Another fun thing from that job is that you had to fill out an activity report for every section, for every hour that you worked on your shift, and it was expected that you filled out the sheet. Of course, when you're in Gate 4 on a slow day, you may only have one line for that hour. Somehow that wasn't good enough, so eventually I started writing stuff about how the sky looked, or whatever insect landed on the window, or the ingredients of whatever I was eating. And I knew they didn't bother to read any of those, because they certainly would have asked me about why I put xanthan gum, red dye number 40, high fructose corn syrup, and trace elements of nuts on my activity report. While that job was certainly a trip, I hope you guys enjoyed that little story and how I worked security. I hope everyone has a wonderful week, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe.